Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be a engine strip down on this Cooper S engine. This is the engine from this Cooper S. Now, I did a video recently where I talked about bore wash and how this engine has suffered from overfueling during its initial break-in phase, and the cylinder wall is basically polished on this engine. So I need to do a full strip down this engine to get the block sent off so it can get honed and a fresh set of pistons fitted with the correct dish so that I don't have too much compression. That was the other problem with this engine. It had almost 12-to-1 compression, and it was basically uncontrollable in terms of its knock and fueling problems. So, gonna strip it down, find out what else is wrong with this engine. Hopefully not too much. Again, it was a fairly fresh rebuild, so I'm hoping I don't find too many things, but you know how it goes. You never know what's happened during the rebuild or what people didn't do. So I'll take you in on anything that I find that needs to be addressed, and we'll just go from there. So stay tuned for the rest of the strip down. So just a quick shot of the oil that came out of this engine. You can see the gray streaks. That's all the material that got wore off in the break-in period. But yeah, it's in pretty bad condition, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to take this engine apart, because I could tell that it's just not happy with the build. And you can see, that's basically metal and the oil right there, those streaks. So I do want to point out one little thing. When I use a stud extractor, such as this one, the one I have is a through, goes all the way through. So I can actually put it below the level of the threads and then just wind off the stud without causing any damage to any of the threads. So yeah, I love these little through stud extractors. So as you can see, I've got the engine setting up right, and I've gone ahead and removed the clutch cover to start out with getting the flywheel off. Now, I did notice that there was some oil hanging out down here in the bottom, and there's also an oily residue along the perimeter here, so I suspect there may be a bit of an oil leak going on with the primary gear. Now, I also noticed that on this competition flywheel, there's not much material on here, but I did notice that the teeth are showing quite a bit of just scarring. And if I stick my finger in here, there is quite a bit of metallic material hanging out inside where the starter lives. So I suspect the starter and flywheel need some sort of shim work to get them to align properly, because it looks like it's just been kind of beating up this this flywheel. But let's take this off and see if this is set up properly. So I've got the KED flywheel puller fitted to this flywheel, and I've got my impact ready to go. So hopefully this flywheel comes off pretty easily. I think it will, since it's only been fitted about 255 miles ago, but you never know. And there it is. So in case you're wondering, that took bolt mode number 2 to get that out, which I think is a 900 foot-pound torque. So with the flywheel off, I can have a quick inspection. Everything in here looks pretty good. I did notice that the clearance on the primary gear is 17 thou, so I'll probably have to do some minor work on that. Also, I noticed that the surface of this crankshaft doesn't appear to have any of the evidence of having been lapped in place with the new flywheel. So that's one of those things that I always like to do before I fit new flywheels, is lap them to the surface. Additionally, I have noticed that there is some motion on this flywheel, so it is digging into the case here. So that'll need addressing as well. So I've got the timing cover removed, obviously water pump removed, and just noticing that it's got the duplex timing gear with the lightweight vernier adjustable timing gear set, which is a nice upgrade for anyone who wants to do, real precision dialing in of the timing gear. Plus, this is lightweight, so I haven't really noticed anything strange about the build so far. Most of the gasket surfaces had some sort of sealant on them to keep it leak-free, which is nice. So at this point, I'm just disassembling, but I don't really see anything that's really bad about this build so far. So as you can see, all of the timing gear and the backing plate has been removed from the block. So at this point, I believe I can flip this over and remove the gearbox from the block. So as you can see, the gearbox is now removed, and we can assess crankshaft, bearings, etc. at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and withdraw the cam very carefully, and then I'll go ahead and start taking main bearings off and rods out of this block. So So the camshaft is all out, and on first glance it doesn't look too bad. There is some wear on the lobes and whatnot. This one here in particular has a pitting, so the surface is kind of coming apart on this cam. But other than that, looks okay. I've seen worse, that's for sure. So let me go ahead and take a look at the cam bearings, and then I'll go ahead and pull the caps off here and take this crank out. Alright everyone, so I have set up the dial indicator to measure the crankshaft thrust on this engine. So let me go ahead and adjust it here. So we're about 60 on that gauge. And we've got about 65, so it looks like we've got about 5 thou of crankshaft thrust. So we've got the pistons out, we've got the rods out, I've got the crank out, and just looking around here, and I can see some interesting wear on the center main, as well as the front main bearing cap here. The rear one looks decent. So yeah, just minor unevenness in the bearing wear is all I see. And now we're down to a bare block. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take these parts, take them to the parts washer, wash everything up, and then I'm going to take everything to the bench and we're going to do some measurements. So I'm going to start with measuring the probably the rods, pistons, etc. Measure the crankshaft and all the dimensions on that, and then I'll measure the block. Check the roundness of these machinings and the caps. Make sure all this stuff is good and whatnot. So basically just basic checks and measurements of all the components that I just took apart to make sure they're good enough to be reused on the rebuild. Because if for some reason these bearing caps are not round, this is going to need a line bore and correcting these caps. So they don't look like they were touched recently, but I need to check everything. So that's what the next episode is going to be on, is measuring and checking the rods, the crank, cam. Also this block, I need to double check the bores and see where they are, and yeah, just a bunch of measuring and checking. So hopefully you guys appreciated this episode. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.